It is Thursday, November 12th at exactly 12 p.m. Eastern. Who decided to live stream right when the PlayStation 5 went up for pre-order on Walmart.com? I did. Whoever hired me should fire me. Welcome to the Podcast Hackers stream. You can find us at podcasthackers.com. It's a Facebook group of over 2,000 podcasters from around the world. Also streaming live to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Castos, part of the Castos.com podcasting family. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want more content like this, if you prefer YouTube over our Facebook group. Whatever floats your boat, stay connected to us as we talk all things podcasting. And live streaming today with a new app called mmhmm. That is the name. It's called mmhmm. Phil, I'm forgetting his name, I think it's Libin, last name, Phil Libin, former CEO of Evernote, started this company a little while back. I remember watching him on a podcast, and he was talking about his new mmhmm app and what it was all about, and it was sort of stealth mode at the time. Over the last few months, though, I think a few months, so maybe even a year, sort of was open to talking about it a little bit more broadly. Let me pull up the website so you can see it. And it just went live, accessible to all Mac users right now. So if you're a Mac user, you can use this. And the gist of it is it's going to improve video presentation. So even live streams like this, I assume it will have its own sort of hooks into things like StreamYard, Zoom, Skype, Microsoft Meetings, GoToMeeting, anything that has video camera access. I assume the mmhmm app, that name might get tiring after a while. I assume that mmhmm app is going to get connected to it. So let me pull up the website. You can find mmhmm app at mmhmm.app. It's 2 M's, an H, 2 more M's, and then .app. We'll bring that up for you. So the three major feature sets that they're talking about here is let yourself shine, place yourself in virtual rooms with immersive slides. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Make yourself big, small, transparent, or even invisible. Elevate your content, educate and entertain using video, screen sharing, and more. Collaborate naturally. They have this interesting collaboration feature, which I won't be able to demo today because I don't have anyone with me. But it looks pretty cool. You can try it for free. I think there is a permanent free version, and then there's a premium version, which is going to enhance some features. So let's just take a look at it. I am going to bring it up on screen. My live stream just started playing. Hold on one second while I bring it up. We're going to fumble around a little bit because this is a first look. This isn't a definitive review. Quite literally, this was released moments ago, or at least in my inbox. And you should see it up on screen. You should see 2 of me. It's everyone's worst nightmare. You see 2 of me. So let me get this out of the way. So you can see the camera view from StreamYard showing myself naturally on the left-hand side. And then me through the mmhmm app. That's going to be tough on the main screen. And you can see that it has sort of green screened me onto this backdrop of a bookcase, a bookshelf, with a slide right here. You can see that slide right there. So it's kind of cool. You can see it. You can see me in the camera view, the sort of uncut camera view, and then the mmhmm app sort of allows you to embed yourself with or without a green screen, and I'm sure it would be even better if there was a green screen, because you can kind of tell, like, so I have my camera. This is me facing my desk, so you can kind of see where my camera is located. It's off to like my 2 o'clock, and you can tell by the green screen, it just like cuts off this side of my face because it just expects that somebody's facing a camera. I guess the AI isn't as powerful yet to know when not to cut off the faces. But it's pretty cool, right? And I assume that as this application gets better, like I mentioned at the top of the show, it's going to be able to hook into things like Zoom and anything that you're video presenting, so that I can kind of take over, let's say, the StreamYard camera, which I'm using now, and do all this crazy interactive stuff. Now, there's always been like a workaround. I don't want to go too far into like other things that you can do. Maybe we'll save this for another video. But if you use something like an OBS, Open Broadcaster Studio, and there's many variants of OBS too. There's Stream Deck, I think, is one of them. It's all built off of OBS because OBS is open source. You can run a virtual OBS camera, which you can then use in Zoom. So I would do this in the early days before Zoom had like a lot of the presentation controls, to sort of take over my Zoom camera, and I'd be able to kind of control myself presenting a slide deck and then cutting back to myself. Because if you remember back in the early Zoom days, when you presented your screen or a slide deck or a tab or something like that, you couldn't see yourself as the presenter, and it felt kind of awkward, right? You couldn't see anyone else in the room. They couldn't see you, et cetera, et cetera. So an app like this is pretty cool because they can enhance that experience. So thumbs up. Like, I think that's really cool. And you can see, like, I can grab myself. It sounds awkward. I can grab myself and move it around the screen, which is pretty cool. So I can reposition these presentations. I can make these custom layouts and whatnot. I can grab that and shrink it down. Right, I can put myself, whoops. Now I can't grab myself. I'm behind this slide. Let's see if I get it. Here it is. I can bring myself down here. So I do a lot of tutorials, of course, on Castos and some other YouTube channels. This is that common, like, you put yourself in the bottom right-hand corner and you're presenting the rest of the screen, which is really cool, I think that's interesting. You can fade yourself in and out. And I'm just doing this on a Mac, 2 fingers on the scroll pad, on the touchpad. I can kind of do that, which is cool. In a presenter mode, I can do the same thing. I can grab these handles and I can do that there. I can anchor myself around, which is cool. They have this mask feature, which just shows you in a circle and a square. So if I hit circle, that was really cool. You see that little effect right there? Let me do that again. So here it is, like green screen on a background. If I show myself presenter in a circle, it actually finds my face. It does like that little scanning motion, which I don't know if you were able to see. But it's no longer a green screen, but it follows me around. So like if I move, I'm moving around. You can see myself in the StreamYard camera moving around. And you can see the circle gets the square, finds me in the app, which is really cool. So I think that's a pretty cool touch. I think that's pretty nice. People are moving around in their desks and whatnot. Maybe they're not, moving around altogether, but who knows? Like, who knows how long we're going to be, presenting online these days. And I think that, you might be walking, you might have a green screen around you, in the future. You're presenting much like I am. Stand-up desk, camera away from your, it's not my webcam. This is a Fuji camera that's set up on a tripod, lighting, etc. Like, you're going to be presenting a lot more. So, nice touch. And then the other meat of it, I can colorize myself. Let's take a look at that. So I can go blue, purple, do all these things. So I think there's a novelty to it right now. And I think in the early days of this app, it's still, reaching for like what we can do, creatively with video. And again, like I said, in the future, I think you'll be able to take this stuff over and stream it directly to your Zoom apps and whatnot. You can hit record up here, and you can record these presentations directly to an MP4 file or upload it to their video hosting service. So that, if you want to bring some life to, let's say, your sales presentation, a pitch to a customer or something like that, or you just want to have a little bit more fun with your internal pitches and presentations, I think that's where this road is going. And kind of see it going down 2 different roads, where it's really just a presentation software, or it's a stream augmentation software. Right? We can make live streaming and podcasting, YouTube live streams, Facebook, all that stuff a little bit better. Thumbs up. It makes sense to everybody. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Happy to answer them, even though this is quite literally one of my first looks at this software as well. So down at the bottom, they have these preloaded. I'm going to move my laptop because I can't see. They have these preloaded slides, and you can just see right here. It says "Get to know the slide tray." I can move my slides around. By the way, while we're in this room, like, we can change backgrounds, which is cool. And these are all independent to rooms. You can see this tab up here, and I'll show it off in a second. It says welcome up here. Hopefully you can see that. I'm in an individual room that's just configured with these slides, with this background, with this setup. I can do this motion, like a video that you can embed in the background, and it kind of moves these cool waves. That's pretty cool. You can do GIFs, right? So that's just a GIF, and you're just dragging and dropping this in. Like, if you're familiar with Keynote or something like that, it's that easy to do these types of things. Let's move my mouse back here. Serious Cats. This is a video, so you can put video on your video, which is pretty cool. You can pull in other cameras. So this is the camera view of my of the MacBook, right? You can see how terrible that quality is compared to this Fuji. But you can bring in multiple videos or multiple cameras, which would be kind of cool. And these are just additional graphics that show that you can move this stuff around, right? Now, if we go into this other room, and this is where I think it's really going to shine as a presentation tool. So I did a video the other day for the channel, for the YouTube channel, about Seriously Simple Podcasting. Now we can do Elementor templates right within the plugin, right? So if you're using Seriously Simple Podcasting and you're using Elementor, now we'll have these podcast landing page templates. So I can just bring in my tiles, which is pretty cool, and I can present them in your typical sort of slide presentation fashion. You can shut the slides off, and it can just be you, self back. You can do full, where these slides are the entire, the entire backdrop, and you're just a part of it, almost like a meteorologist on the news, right? It's going to rain, right? And you're pointing, at the map, et cetera, et cetera. But they have these cool presenter tools in their Pro plan. You can enable the Pro plan. It just says 7 days left right now. It's $99 for the year. Pointer, and I can kind of bring that around. You can see it follows me. So if I'm circling something, I'm like, hey, pay attention to the audience logo over here. Or reason number 1 to use Elementor is because it's easy, right? And you can kind of see that pretty cool, like, hover effect with the pointer. You can change the colors, that kind of thing. So I would say that it's a pretty fascinating tool right now. I think if you're really looking to up your game on presentations or the type of business that you're in, where creativity and just going that extra mile is a boon to whatever it is that you're creating, then this is a very interesting app to keep your eye on. $100 a year really depends. I mean, it's not crazy money in terms of, software, other softwares that's out there, like an Adobe or anything like that, but certainly vastly not as powerful, as these other tools at this moment. I think it's going to get better. I mean, I know it's going to get better. They have a pretty great CEO at the helm, and it's going to be interesting. Even though I hate that word is sort of a bit of a cop-out, it's going to be interesting to see where they go with it. And where they really decide is, I'm just looking at this. So I can do add screen share. Can I screen share my screen share? See what happens. I have to open up my security tools. It's going to have me quit and restart it, so I'm not going to do that right now. But yeah, I mean, if you're screen sharing, certainly if you're maybe even, like myself, if I am producing a tutorial, let's say, So let's do this. This will be the last bit of the segment here of the live stream. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments. I sort of just did this on the fly when I saw the email come in. I said, boy, wouldn't it be fun to take a look at the app. So I might do something like this, where if I screenshot this, I add a new where'd it go? Here it is. So I do full. So, for example, like this is a screenshot of the Seriously Simple Podcasting plugin settings. So it would be kind of cool to be able to present this to somebody and circle things, right? And say like, oh, pay attention to this call to action, get 20% off your hosting. Under the feed details setting is where we're going to change the title of our podcast, right? Those types of presentations, walkthroughs, tutorials, education. Yeah, that can get really, really useful. I can definitely see that as something, very powerful when working with this stuff. So being able to adjust things, zoom in. Whoa, that's me. Can I zoom in my screenshot? No, I can't zoom in my screenshot. Just me. Can I zoom it in? No, it only takes up the entire side. Okay. So at the end of the day, you can get creative with it. You can play with it. You can try it for free at the app. I think the biggest problem with that, besides saying it repeatedly, is I always spell it with one M first and then two M's after the H. So I typo it a lot. So it's two M's, H, two more M's .app. Check it out. I hope you find it interesting. I think it's useful for podcasters. I mean, I think a lot of us in the podcasting space are doing more than just audio. I think a lot of us are also doing YouTube. We're also doing a lot of Zoom these days, a lot of other presentations. So I think that it's something that can certainly complement your catalog of content. Thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want more. youtube.com/Castos. Podcasthackers.com. Let me show that. Let me show that on the screen. I wouldn't be a proper hype man if I didn't do that. Podcasthackers.com. Go there. You can get the link to join the Facebook group. Clicking that link will bring you right to the Facebook group of over 2,000 podcasters. And if you want to get a little grade for your podcast, you want to see where you are in your podcasting journey, you want to get a little bit better, there's some resources there. Go to podcasthackers.com, click on the Get Your Podcast Grade, which coincidentally will redirect you to castos.com/podcastgrader. Check it out. I got some free downloadables, some templates for podcasting, and a free private members-only podcast to learn how to do this stuff a little bit better. Okay. Thanks for watching today's live stream. We'll see you in the next one.